Yo, what up, what up, what up? This is AC from LA, and I'm on the Collective Podcast. I imagine my man, my mellow Saucier Sr. will be joining shortly. But as for now, let's get this thing going. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a podcast to step to. Think of how many week pods you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you. Boy, did I almost blow that? Shout out to Rakim. What y'all talking about? You already know. Hey, this is episode 69 of the Collective Podcast. And if you think about that from a weekly standpoint, we're talking about 52 weeks in a year plus 17. And if you get down with math, you know that 17 is almost a third of 52. 17.33 would be a third of 52. So we'd be looking at 17.3. So essentially, when we're a third of the way through next week's podcast, we would be at a year and a third. So essentially, that's where we are right now. So we're rolling along, man. This is great. We've had some different iterations. You know, we started off with 5, and one cat didn't make the first episode at all, or he didn't make the pre-meeting, and then he also didn't make the episode, so he was out. Then we had 4, and that's what we launched with, and we had my guy Mike Tillery with us for quite some time, and then Mike Tillery wound up. Good morning, Elaine. Mike Tillery wound up leaving us rather abruptly, I might add. So then it was down to me, Rodney, and Trey. And then once we moved over to Saturdays, there was one Saturday. Well, the first Saturday. Well, actually, Trey missed the last couple of weekday episodes for one reason or another. I think he missed the last 3. And then we moved over to Saturday, and he told us that he had that the kids. Good morning, Cheryl. He told us that the kids had practice during that time for Saturday morning, but then he was in Vegas on Friday. And by the way, he doesn't live in Vegas. So he took a trip. So that was hilarious. He took a trip. Nobody had practice. Or if they did, they didn't go to practice because he took a trip. So my thinking, it's 7 a.m. on Saturday. Even if you're in Vegas, you could get on, right? Well, only if you want to be there. So we determined that he really didn't want to be here, and he just didn't know how to tell me because, as he likes to tell y'all, I'm his oldest friend. So I guess he didn't want to hurt my feelings. But you know, shout out to Trey. He wouldn't have hurt my feelings. It would have actually saved us some mental anguish, wondering, you know, when and if you would show up. And by the way, he's welcome back, you know, if he ever wants to come back. But what did Goody Mob say? One person, don't stop no show. And they didn't say person, but it's fine. So anyway, episode 69. Hey, how's everybody doing out there? We hope you're doing well. No idea if Rodney is coming. He's usually at least texting me by now, but I don't know. Maybe he's not coming. So if he doesn't come, then it'll be another short one. We do have a bit to unpack this week, but I'll just get going until I know what's going on with him. NBA Finals. I picked Phoenix at the beginning. What's up, Roddy T? I picked Phoenix at the. Hey, Rod, show us the shirt, man. Show us the picture. Rod got a Legal Hustle. We actually got a couple of Legal Hustle long sleeve T-shirts, and sent me a picture of one of them. So shout out to anybody rocking the Legal Hustle gear. We appreciate that. Golf was fun. I'm working on some things. You know, we just played at Maggie, so it was a 9-hole. I'm working on some things, and they pretty much came to fruition yesterday. So it was a good run yesterday. It was fun. I was out there with my dad. Shout out to Sam Gardner. I was with my dad and Roland Wright. So also shout out to Roland Wright, who's golfing out there. That's my really good friend, Marlene's husband. Marlene's like a sister. But yeah, shout out to Roland Wright. So you guys know that I picked Phoenix before the play. Oh, there's Rod. Hey, man.
What it is?
7:05. Now, Rod is about to take his son, Rod Jr., to college. He's going to Morgan State. I just hope that Rod Jr. understands that 7:05 is not 7. And I hope that he understands that maybe 6:55 is 7. So that, if you know how we say in Domino's, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Well, if you show up early, then you can't be late. But shout out to Rod. Rod, you got a mic? Because I feel like I'm not going to be able to hear you.
I think I have a mic.
Can't hear him. Can't hear you.
Hey, man, that's got to be on your ear.
No, really. Rod, no joke.
Can't hear down or something.
Bruh, we cannot hear you. You always got something going on. Or maybe I messed it up. Let me see. Nope, that's you. All right, catch you, Sam. Watch that move. All right. Rod, can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes. Okay. That's what I thought. Nope, we can't hear you. I don't know what's going on with your mic, but I'll just keep talking until you figure it out. So listen, it's great when you show up late without a mic, but that's my guy, Rod. That's my buddy. That's my pal. That's my dog. And he's still in it with me. Like I said, we started off with too much cargo.
Can you hear me now?
Now I'm glad we got rid of Benedict Arnold. I'm just kidding. That's NWA after Ice Cube left. And I don't feel like Trey is Benedict Arnold. That's not what I feel. I feel like Trey just didn't want. Wait, you can hear him, Cheryl?
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. My bad. So my speakers, my bad. Go ahead, Rod, talk. So I can't hear you, and I don't know why. So let me figure out what's going on with my speakers. Because at least you can hear me, though. Let me figure it out.
There you go. Good. All right. Oh, I got a loud and clear from Elaine this morning. I'm on.
No, Rod, go ahead and talk while I figure the speaker thing out. Hold it down. I'm working in the background. Go ahead.
I got you. Good morning, everyone.
What is going on?
I had to get rid of my technical difficulties from last week. We got Mr. Garden III, Miss Carter, Elaine, Cobbs. Good morning, everybody. Bright and early. All right. So I heard something about the Phoenix Suns. I think we both chose Phoenix. With who was left. I don't know. I'm still saying it depends on how Middleton plays for the whole series. Every time he scores over 30, it's Bucks. If he scores under 30, it's Suns. And he normally has lower scoring games on the road. So today is game 5. And they play in Phoenix, right? Yes. They're playing in Phoenix. But I think Middleton will play better today on the road. When he doesn't defer, they're good. He should be the primary option. But Giannis is the star, so go figure. Yeah, I have lights today. I'm not in the back. Okay. Cheryl. Cool.
All right. Say something, Rod.
I hear you loud and clear.
Well, you could always hear me. I just couldn't hear you. All right, now I can hear you. All right, cool. We back.
All right.
So I can't even. So my apologies, Rod. You were clearly going through loud and clear, and I just couldn't hear you. Hey, thanks, Shablon. Appreciate you. That's my guy Shablon checking in from the Philippines. So, all right, let's go. What's up, Cobbs? Cobbs is checking in. You were having a conversation with Aunt Cheryl.
Aunt
Right?
Cheryl.
I see she's telling you.
I don't know why I've never met Aunt Cheryl. Is she in California?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Shout out to everybody. This is episode 69 of the Collective Podcast. I am AC from LA. He is Saucier Senior. He was late, but he came with good lighting and a mic. So let's not knock him because he was 2/3 right, right. But yeah. So be clear. I wasn't saying Trey was Benedict Arnold. It was a great line. It was a great place to put that line because we were 5, even though one of the 5 didn't even show up for, like I said, pre-production for the first meeting. So ultimately we launched as 4. You couldn't see my air quotes because we didn't have the wide view. We launched as 4, and then one guy left and the other guy kind of went into and this is Trey, he kind of went into if I close my eyes, they can't see me. No, dude, we can still see you. So you could have just told us that you didn't want to be here, but he didn't want to tell us. So we have a little bit to unpack. Let's see. Rodney, I don't think you ever told us about your travels. If you get a chance, you should maybe tell us about your Denver trip and tell us about your Sacramento trip or your Roseville trip and talk to us about how you got to hang out with your family. You don't have to do it now, but let's do it. We've got NBA. We've got Richard Sherman. We've got Stephen A. Smith. Biz Markie. Let's do that. Let's have a moment of silence for Biz Markie. Another hip hop legend gone. Biz Markie was 57 years old, and I imagine that most of the young heads have never ever heard of him until now. So they got that alert coming across their phone. But what you guys don't know is without Rod, there would be no Biz Markie. Because remember, Rod launched Russell Simmons, and everybody else that came after him, which includes Biz Markie. So even though Rod's not in the music business anymore, like, it's one of those things where, we got to give our just due to good old Rod over there,
So we still would have had a connection because you were like the first signing of Cold Chillin' Records.
I was chilling. Wow, Cold Chillin'. So pop quiz. Can you tell me the 2 artists on Delicious Vinyl?
Young MC.
Delicious Vinyl. Delicious.
Well, even though that's kind of 2 words, that's only one person. So let's get the other one.
Morning Elaine.
Who else was on Delicious Vinyl? The first 2?
Gotta be Young MC and Beastie Boys? No.
Well, listen. I said they were on Def Jam.
Yeah.
That might be the only 2, right? Like, listen to what I'm saying. I said the 2 artists on Delicious Vinyl. I don't know if there was anybody other than
Def Jeff.
Person A plus Young MC. There might have been.
Tone Loc. Oh no.
Yes.
Tone Loc. Yeah.
Tone Loc and Young MC.
Okay.
And Tone Loc had, way back then, lived on Olympic, right up the street from Trey, just west of Hauser, kind of close to Pioneer Chicken, and had the Benz right in front with the personalized license plate that said Tribe. And I was like, boy, Wild Thing really changed his life.
Yeah.
Sugar Hill Gang. Okay. Rod used to be in the studio with them. Back in right after he graduated from college, he was in the studio with Sugar Hill Gang, and he helped launch them.
He was a fourth member. He was a fourth member.
Yeah, see, I didn't know how many members, so thanks for that.
That's funny.
Rod holds the record. He was in 4 groups at the same time. The Furious 6 got cut down to 5 because Rod jumped the ship.
Hey man, they didn't want to share the spotlight. They got to share it.
Shout out to T Cobbs, aka Anthony Cobbs, aka
Hey,
AC
man.
Sports Live, checking in.
This is fun, man.
Our guy.
I figure if I'm up, I might as well come on here and have some fun with y'all, man.
Yeah.
Before
There you go.
honeydews, before
Yeah.
cleaning up the house, let's get it in.
Yeah. So you see in the back over his right shoulder, 1585. That's the Friday podcast with Jim McElroy IV. Over his left shoulder is a flex. And listen, if I played in the NFL, I would flex too. That's an NFL helmet. That's a game worn NFL helmet.
Man.
So, you know,
Oh man.
no front. My mom had on a New Orleans Saints mask yesterday, and she didn't play in the NFL. So y'all got a connection. But she is from New Orleans. So, you know, shout out to New Orleans, shout out to Anthony Cobbs, and shout out to Judy Carter for rocking the
Yeah.
Saints.
My mom's side of the family is from
That time
New Orleans. Well,
Oh, New
and
Orleans. Okay.
both, and
Okay.
they are diehard Saints.
Yeah.
They will cut you over that team.
Yeah.
Too bad they suck. Like.
For a lot of them, it was, at least when I was growing up and paying attention to what was happening where my grandfather was, it was obviously the Saints, and they had to battle through not even mediocrity, just they were the worst team in the NFL for a long time and in a lot of seasons. But they also loved their Bayou Bengals, aka the LSU Tigers. So obviously LSU got it turned around quite a bit when your boy went there in football. Basketball, Shaquille and Abdul Rauf did some things. I know he was still Chris Jackson, but yeah. So LSU football and the Saints got it together. So
LSU coming to town this year. LSU's coming to play UCLA.
Will they have any players left?
They always got players.
You know, they got in trouble for rape culture. They had several sexual assaults going on campus.
But somehow
Players got,
the SEC has the best PR. That stuff's gonna go away like nobody's business. They're gonna be fine. It's the LSU Tigers, man.
All right.
They're gonna have more athletes than we have. Everything. But this is gonna be a year for the Bruins, man. We get the best chance of winning 8 or more games than we've had in 10 years. So Chip Kelly's on the hot seat. Go ahead, AC. I'm my own tickle. Just talking about the Bruins all
no,
day.
go.
I'm just saying, but this is the most, experience the Bruins have had in maybe 20 years, as far as it coming back with number of seniors, 6-year seniors and pandemic seniors. So I don't want to hear it. If Chip Kelly can't win, if Chip can't win 8 games and beat SC, if I'm Martin Jamon, I would not mind if he got rid of him and ate that salary.
How many years does he have left on his contract? Do you know?
Probably
He's been there now for like 4 or 5?
This will be his. Dang, is it already going to be 5? Because he hasn't won more than 3 games a year. I think he's won 3 games every year, where he's 9 in whatever number of losses. So it's been bad. So he said he wasn't going to fire him during the pandemic, but he gave him this little leash right here. So we shall see. Go Bruins.
Yeah, definitely go Bruins. Speaking of, let me transition really quick. We don't have to stay on the NBA once I transition, but I just want to throw this out there. His contract goes through November 2022. So he's got 2 more seasons on his contract. And how about this? His contract would be up before the bowl game if we were to get a bowl game next year. So that's
called hot seat.
That's interesting. And you say he's got 9 wins in those 3 seasons?
3 wins a year. That's
Man,
setting the bar real low.
And we talked about the New Orleans Aints, who what they used to call them, but 3 wins per season is not even mediocrity.
Brew Lewis. It can't be Brew wins. It's Brew lose.
Yeah, that's bad. All right, so speaking of the Bruins, my goodness, Milwaukee is doing some things right now, and I wasn't actually going to talk about Drew Holiday. I was going to talk about the Bruin legends that are in Milwaukee. But shout out to Drew Holiday. You've got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was on the last Milwaukee championship team, so he's one Milwaukee legend, and then you have the the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then you also have the great Marcus Johnson in the stands. Both phenomenal Bruins. One is, obviously a once in a lifetime talent, and the other one is a once in a generation talent. Lifetime would obviously be Kareem. But shout out to Marcus Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They're in Milwaukee physically supporting the current team and helping them, willing them to get those 2 wins at home. So I just wanted to say Bruin legends in the stands. And then, of course, our buddy, KJ Sports Live, Chris Johnson was there with his pops, Marcus Johnson. So at least three Bruins in the building. It's hard to say. 3 Bruins in the building supporting Drew Holiday and the Bucks. Now, I guess we will stay on the NBA. I chose the Phoenix Suns before the playoffs started and before I realized that I thought Chris Paul is probably the least likable person in the entire NBA to me. So I do not want them to win. They are my pick, and I do not want them to win. Like, watching the playoffs, I have just been disgusted with Chris Paul. No one has to join me in that along those lines. But I just want you guys to know, like, even though I chose them, you guys know I rock with the Bucks, and I've wanted the Bucks to win for quite some time. And as much as people say, "Oh, CP deserves it," and like, why? Why does he deserve it? Did we ever say that Charles Barkley deserved it? He wanted one. I don't know. I felt like Clyde Drexler deserved one. And so he got it. He went to Houston and got it. But that's different. Like, Clyde Drexler was very likable. Chris Paul,
Yes.
Cliff Paul, State Farm, Sabrina Ionescu, anything related to Chris Paul. I like Jake from State Farm. But the rest of that, get out of here. What do you guys think?
Man, I would love to see it for Monty Williams. I think it would do, justice for the recent black coaching hires and for coaching in general. But I'm with you. I get tired of watching Chris Paul and all the antics on the floor. Just constant whining, flopping, grabbing, whining. Just it's nonstop.
Yeah. And that's my dilemma when you talk about Monty Williams, because it was the same thing for me when Shaquille left the Lakers and went to Miami in his second season. I pulled for Miami. I started pulling for Miami as soon as Pat Riley got there. I didn't leave the Lakers, but I'm a loyal guy. I pull for Pat Riley. Like, he's the coach I grew up with, right? So I'm pulling for Pat Riley. Alonzo Mourning is my favorite player. And Gary Payton is one of my favorite players, one of my favorite point guards of all time. And this guy shows up, and I didn't care about Dwayne Wade. Well, actually, I wasn't a fan of Dwayne Wade just because they were trying to push the narrative that he was better than Kobe. So I didn't have anything against him, but I wasn't able to enjoy him at that time because they'd lost their minds. And I don't know why they keep doing things like that. But I was happy for everybody but Shaquille when that championship happened in Miami. And so if Phoenix wins one, I would be happy as a lark. I don't know if that's the term. I would be very happy for Monty Williams. I would even be happy for the other fellas. Devin Booker. Like, I like Cam Payne. I don't really care about Cam Johnson one way or another. Ayton always looks like a deer in headlights, but he works hard. So I like him. I mean, just look at the looks on his face. He's
like an old deer. An old dusty deer from the.
So it's really funny. Is he fearing the deer? Like, what's happening with him? Is he fearing the deer, or like, but and then obviously Devin Booker, I like him too. So yeah,
And
um,
and Aiton is the first overall pick,
yeah.
and they celebrate him getting a few rebounds.
Yeah. Well, he has the legendary oop. So that's legendary.
The legendary blocked oop last week.
Hey, did you see him flex after that?
Man, that
Did you
block.
see Giannis flex after that?
Hey man, that's why I picked the Bucks. I picked the Bucks in 6. Giannis, man, you said likability. CP3 lacks it. Giannis has it.
Oh,
That dude, you just have to like that dude, man. He plays so hard.
yeah.
How do you not like? And then he gets in the interview. And you say, "Oh man, this dude don't have no ill will. He doesn't have any angst, anything against people. He just wants to play hard, give you a fake mean face, and play hard.
Right.
Yeah.
He's what your kid. You what you want your kid to do. My kid can't shoot, but he plays hard. That's him.
Play hard.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Hey man, you gonna play like anybody play like Giannis until we get all this other fancy stuff down. If you play hard, even if your free throws are janky, get you a rhythm. Don't take 15 seconds. Find you something to do. I'll go.
Hey, I got a question.
Yo,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm good.
Do you think that Chris Paul practices like his dives and his fallouts and his facial expressions? Do you think he goes in his studio at home and like practices all of that bum behavior?
I think since he's been a State Farm representative, he's taken acting classes, and he's still in character. He's been acting. Alfonso Ribeiro, the real CP3, whatever that is, he goes so hard. He don't have to do that stuff, man. He's a really good player.
He is a really good player.
That's the bad part.
He don't have to do that stuff. Chill out,
No,
man. You
no.
ain't no young buck no more. You get calls. You get the
Right.
things you want, but now he overdoing it, trying to act tough all the time. Again, play the Rondo tape. You ain't tough, man. Popped you in the mouth. Pop, pop. Didn't know what to do with that.
But you know what? There are a lot of players with the flopping and holding their eye and falling out on the. I mean, like it's nonstop. And then it's let's go review this. Like why?
So here's the point of contention that I have with my good friend Rod here. I don't like saying it's nonstop now, Rod. Like I supported you on that before we watched Chris Paul every other night. He's the only one in the history of the NBA where it's nonstop, Rod. Like be real. Other people do it too much, but he's nonstop. Every call and non-call, this dude is in character.
Yes.
And it's so bad. It's so bad. And then then let's go review it. And then somehow once you review it, you come back and you come up with the same thing that you had in the first place. No, that didn't really happen. This is bad. When we start talking about Chris Paul and we losing viewers. My goodness. Get rid of this dude. Let me play this real quick. We can stay on the NBA. Let me play this real quick. Shout out to the Fallen. Oh, okay. Well, when I do it in Spotify, it happens, but clearly it's not happening here. All right, keep talking. That didn't work. Da 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 da. So, so what I was saying was obviously I want the Bucks over the Suns, obviously. But I was saying at the beginning of the playoffs, I chose Phoenix. You know, when everybody was saying Milwaukee wouldn't be there, and when you and I, Cobbs, thought that Philly,
Man, this should be a championship for Philly, man. Dang Ben Simmons. Oh, we'll send everybody on our roster to Portland for Dame Lillard right now.
Everybody,
especially Ben Simmons.
Well,
we'll send him down there right now. He's in the weight room right now. Just have the security go pick him up with a box, with his stuff in a box, and just say, hey, man, we're going on the Spirit Airlines down to Portland. It's been nice, brother. The process is over for you. Have security go pick him up with a box, with his stuff in a box, and say, hey, man, we're going on the Spirit Airlines down to Portland. First thing smoking. The process is over for you.
But not Spirit Airlines.
Spirit per bag. I've heard it's a rough ride. I've never flown on Spirit, but I heard it's a rough one. It's like
Oh,
disrespectful.
you never flown on it?
I heard it's the most disrespectful plane ticket to buy somebody. I'm gonna buy you a plane ticket. Spirit.
Solo
Good luck.
plane.
Rough it. No runway. No terminal. Just park at the airport and walk out there and just find the yellow plane and just walk out there and say you got a ticket. And it's $25 a bag. Brother talking about we gonna stop by the house on the way up there. You know, we gonna fly, but it is real soul plane, man.
Yeah, I've heard some stories that a ticket from LA to New York City starts off at like $180 round trip, and by the time you get on the plane, you've already spent $950.
And you ain't never gonna get there. 18 stops.
I've heard the stories. I'm good.
I did fly it once. I think actually I flew it to Houston for something with CFO West, and it was you got nickel and dime for everything. Like the flight was okay. It was like flying, you know, flying on one of the smaller planes. So that part was fine. But yeah, it was. You get nickel and dime to death. Like you can only wear one shoe onto the plane. If you want to wear a second shoe, it's like $18. And you know, if you have to use the bathroom, it's $22 per session. You know, so it was a little different, but you know, if you got to get there, and especially if you're not staying, you don't have any, you just have a briefcase or a backpack, you be all right. All right, let me play this real quick. I figured out what was wrong. Shout out to Biz Marquee.
Have you ever met a girl that you tried to date, but a year to make love, she wanted you to wait? Let me tell you a story of my situation. I was talking to this girl from the U.S. nation. The way that I met her was on tour at a concert. She had long hair and a short miniskirt. I just got on stage dripping forward with sweat. I was walking through the crowd, and guess who I met? I whispered in the air, come to the picture booth so I can ask you some questions to see if you're 100 proof. I asked her name, she said blah, blah, blah. 9, 10 pairs and a very big bra. I took a couple of flicks and she was enthused. I said, how do you like the show? She said I was very amused. I started throwing bass, she started throwing back mid-range. But when I sprung the question, she acted kind of strange. Then when I asked, do you have a man? She tried to pretend. She said, no, I don't. I only have a friend. How did you go for? It's what I'm going to say. You got what I need, but you say he just a friend, and you say he just a.
All right, y'all. That was his commercial hit. But for those of us who were, you know, hip hop heads back then, you know, this was the one.
That's the one you walk in the party on.
Mm-hmm. Slow motion. You walk in the slow motion.
Yeah. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is
Making music all over is my specialty. Wanna go what you girls get excited. When they feel my lyrics, they wanna recite. I'm out there all in the mood. Just go with the flow, and I can play rapping records and old disco. Like me to Billy G or Michael Jackson or Prince to your ranking. They gon' ask you what you.
All right, shout out to Biz Marquee. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, Elaine.
Man, these kids don't know, man. We had a great era.
Ooh.
Man, we had a great era of music. We were spoiled. We had characters like Biz Marquee.
Yeah, he was a good brother. He used to DJ all the parties around DC, homecoming for Howard. Always talk to everybody, would leave, step out of the booth and come, you know, say what's up to just on his own without, you know, some kind of gimmick or anything behind it or cameras watching. It was just kind of like, hey, let me go see what's up with these fellas over here. You standing there watching a game or something during happy hour. He'd come through, say what's up, shake your hand, talk like a regular, you know, like you've been knowing him for years.
You would never know he's a superstar.
No, he never act like a superstar at all.
Your favorite Biz Marquee song, fellas? Was that it? I just say
I think that so make the music with your mouth biz is what takes me back, but I think Elaine, like I think because of the message in Vapors, it's that for me, just because like I'm all about a message in music. Um, no pun intended, the message. But Vapors would probably be it for me, just because he's telling about three of his friends and how things happened or didn't happen, and anytime Big Daddy Kane's one of them, that's hard. So probably Vapors for me. What about you?
I agree. Vapors, man. Like you said. I mean, I bought the tape. I had Picking Boogers.
Yeah, yeah,
The fact that he was so comical, man. But making music with your mouth biz, like you said, I think Rodney put it on right on, hit on nail on the head. That's the song you walk into, man. It's an anthem song you walk into. But when that Vapors drop, man, oh my god, it was like wow. And then the video came out on what was that video show we used to watch on BET? Was it Donnie Simpson? And that video came out, and he had that little white shirt and them two models on his side, and he was on that boat. I was like, wow. And then MC Shan couldn't get the job. What was the MC? Marley Marl and Big Daddy Kane. Everybody would make their little spots, and they had
yeah.
little stories, and he had that food stamp on his face. I was like, wow, because I can relate to the food stamp. Because we came from that. I said, wow, he got a real food coupon. I remember those. So
Food coupon. You got the
yeah,
technical term to
yeah,
it.
the food coupon. I think the food stamps. I said it was treating me like a wet food stamp. Like, yeah, you can't use wet food stamps. Did you know that? So now, yeah, Vapors, man. That's the jam.
Yeah, Vapors probably is the one. But I used to like Spring Again. I used to play that
It's
all
spring
the
again.
time. All the time.
Don't you ever know it's spring again?
And my kids grew up on Biz Marquee, because what kid doesn't like to say boogers when they're little? Like, you can play that and just make them laugh the whole car ride.
Picking
Play that
boogers.
again. Repeat it, Dad. Repeat it.
Picking boogers.
Yeah. Anything nasty, or you say
Yeah.
butt or boogers or anything like that for a little kid, it's like, man, you hit a gold mine.
The human beatbox. Now, who was the best beatbox back in the day? You got Biz, Buffy Love,
Yeah, you got
Dougie
you had a
Fresh.
few.
Doug E. Fresh. Biz
yeah.
Markie.
What's the guy's name from Fat Boys?
Buffy.
Oh, that's Buffy Love. Okay. Yeah.
DJ Doc. Rest in peace, DJ Doc. He had a video for that one too.
It's spring again. So before Busta Rhymes and his antics, Biz Markie was doing that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Biz had his own lane, and it couldn't be crossed.
Mm-mm. All right. Outro song. I got the outro song. Elaine, remember you owed us an outro song. You were gonna tell us this week what it was. It might get superseded by something from Biz Markie, but send it over anyway. We'll see what we can do.
Oh, that's right.
All right. So NBA. Rest in peace, Biz Markie. NBA. Does Milwaukee have so much momentum at this point that they win 4 in a row and win in 6? Like, that's the hashtag Bucks in 6. I would love that. I would personally like to see Chris. I like Chris Paul less than James Harden now. Less than I like James Harden. And that's hilarious.
That's bad.
And then
I agree with you.
and it doesn't help that James Harden is from the house, because that gives him an edge over Chris Paul also. So yeah, Chris Paul, least liked by me. I would like to see him never win another game. Basically, he's the Dallas Cowboys now. So
He said never win another game. Dang,
Yeah.
that's personal. Did he step on your toe?
he step on your toe. No, I'm not going to be rooting for that to happen. I wouldn't mind if that's what I should say. I wouldn't mind if that happened. But Elaine, what you didn't give us a suggestion, did you? You said you would tell us. Did she tell us?
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
the song.
Elaine, you got to tell us.
It better be a banger too. We waited 2 weeks for this.
Bless you.
Hey,
Oh, you can't hear me. Zaire, bless you. All right.
It's
So
Shorty Doo Wop.
Bucks.
always up early.
Shorty Doo Wop.
Rodney probably doesn't believe that the Bucks have won 2 games, but then he's going to say, as he always says, Chris Middleton at home. All right. So what happens in Game 5?
That's it. That's
He's
the
the
only
key.
person we gotta watch. You can go ahead and zoom in on Chris. If he don't do his
Man.
thing, it's a L. I can coach this game. Chris, I need you to get 35.
If they, I mean, that would be my game plan. If I was, what's his name, Budenholzer,
Get Chris the ball.
who looks like he just got out of a bar. he looks like he just stepped out the bar
He looks like Cody Bellinger.
and been there all day. Just last call. Here he comes. But yeah, I mean, if I was him, I'd say, hey, you know what? The first 5-6 trips down the floor, we're going to Middleton exclusively. I would get him going early and establish him. He opens up everything else for everybody else.
Who's the primary defender on Middleton for Phoenix?
They've tried to go with
It must have been Booker because Booker's been in foul trouble every game. Is it Booker?
but Booker's aggressive.
No.
So they've tried to go with Bridges, they've tried to go with Booker. They've switched on and off. They tried to give him a different look with each one.
This is why I came on the show today. How do you all feel about the calls that weren't called on Devin Booker when he had 5 fouls at the end? I saw 2 muggings,
Rodney.
tackles. I saw 2 tackles. I saw 2 sacks.
Rodney.
You know what? Honestly,
Yeah, honestly, that's what we want.
I can see why he passed on him.
On
Why he swallowed his whistle?
Well, on the fast break, the alleged block.
Hand behind his back and blocked it. Like,
Yeah,
hugged him.
I could see why.
He
Because
hugged
from
him.
one angle, it almost looked like he pulled a guy down, but from the other angle, from the inline angle, it didn't look like that. So, and that guy is an official that I really like. It's, I'm not saying I love everyone, but he and Eric Lewis are two. If they make a call or don't make a call, I'm good with it because I just trust their judgment. So that was foul number 6, and I guess he's like, you know what? If I don't see any teeth on the floor, and if I don't see an arm dangle,
Nobody bleeding.
we going. And I won't question that with him, but I think probably 90 other people out of 100 would have called a foul.
Yeah, it was hard because he tackled him. Like, I'm just thinking how easy it is to call a foul in a common game, or heck, when you and I play at the beach in Long Beach, you grab me on a layup, ball up top.
Hey,
Ball up.
I'm taking the ball for less than that, but
Yeah, especially game point. Give it up, ball up.
yeah.
Can't hug me up, brother.
no.
Yeah, whenever I see a questionable no call or call, I think of you guys, man, because I know I can get some clarification. And like you guys told me last time I asked this question, you like, because I want to keep my job. And since it's Devin Booker, you can't make that call. If it's Campaign or Cameron Johnson or even Crowder, that's a call. But it's Devin Booker. They probably wanted to make sure he stayed in the game for whatever reason. Ratings, star power. Make it make sense.
That was a physical game, though. There were quite a
I
few.
don't know that it was that physical, Rod. That right there, when you got 2 people, you got millions of people looking at 2 people.
That looked like a scene from Empire, just hugging up.
I mean,
2 brothers hugging up.
you got, I don't know, Rod. You have the hug from behind. You have across the arm in the front. You have the body, right? His body's going through Holiday's body. Um, can you imagine if Giannis doesn't clean this up? Oh,
Man,
this is something. I hear you though, Rod. Like you're the guy. So
where's the official supposed to be standing to see that call? He's in the bottom right corner.
yeah, he's here, and then he would be.
He sees that.
He's got to
If he
beat the play back, right? Or if he doesn't beat it, then he's got to stop and watch it finish. But if he would have stopped, then he would have seen it from behind, and Rod wouldn't have an argument. I assume he got to the end line. Let's take a look.
Shout out to all the referees, man. Your job is difficult.
Oh yeah, he didn't get there.
We're from now.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the announcer said it. Holiday fouled, but that didn't help. Marv
No,
Alpert.
well, here's the thing. Oh, well, we're being bombarded. Okay, so Rodney's argument is done because from that angle you can see what Rodney said he couldn't see,
He tackled him.
but he wasn't in position. So
No, he wasn't in position.
he got eaten up on that fast break, and he could see the hug, but probably couldn't see what happened in front. And so there it is. Like I wasn't watching his positioning on that play. And so there you go. So he didn't see it. He only saw the backside. He didn't see what happened in the front. And so he felt like I'm sure he felt like he didn't have enough information.
Do you guys see it in real time, and say, "Oh, that's a call. Call that." Like when I watch a movie with my wife and it's a bad editing, and now she can catch edits too. Oh, it's a bad edit. Do you guys see a call that's not made, and you're sitting at home like, I should have called that?
Oh, at home?
Yeah, you're at home chilling, watching the game.
Oh,
Like, oh man,
I think that should have called that is judgmental. But it's more so I would like to see that called. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or I didn't like that one, or God dog it, when are you guys gonna call that illegal screen? Yeah, I say that a lot. I say that.
That hurts. That's a pet peeve of mine. It
illegal
just
screens. And is it simple as putting the hip out, or what's the
Well,
egregious?
in the NBA, they do the hip, they
And the
do
elbow.
this, and they do the lean. They do so much, and it's like, if you have the best point guards on earth, why can't they just run the defender into the screen?
right.
Lazy.
If they just dribble off your hip, teammate, then you don't have to do any leaning.
Nobody's teaching that. They're not teaching that anymore.
No, this is just laziness.
Yeah.
Their base is like 8 feet wide. They got their feet, like almost like they're doing the splits, trying to keep the defender from getting around it. It's bad. It's bad.
So this is confusing. So Elaine and Rodney have conflicting thoughts. So I want you guys to talk through it. Cobbs asked the question. Rodney said, "I trust him." 90. He said 90 people would have called it, but he wouldn't, and he likes that. Elaine is saying,
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm just
no,
saying.
not you. You're saying he
Oh,
would.
okay.
That your guy wouldn't, and I don't know who it was. He wouldn't. But then Elaine is saying, even if he were in position, I guess she is saying what you said. He wouldn't have called it, even if he was in position. Okay.
I like the fact that he didn't guess. He's just like, I didn't see it, so I ain't blowing the whistle.
Okay, so I hear that, but and again, this is just me. So at my level, and my level is not the NBA. My level is Division I college basketball and below. I see enough. When I stop, I see enough with this
Mm-hmm.
to call a foul on that. I see enough. Rodney is saying that he didn't guess, and we're talking about whatever contact may have happened in the front. But also at my level, we're not. I mean, it's rare that you got to be ready for that fast break, and it seemed like he was ready for it, but he's just he's been doing this for 50 years, so he couldn't get back down quickly enough. But that wasn't within 2 minutes, right? Because that wasn't in the 2-minute report. I really wanted to see what they said on that because I did read the 2-minute report for the game, And I was like, wow, they had a pretty good score in the final 2 minutes. I think they got, according to the NBA, they got two things wrong in the final 2 minutes. So they closed out pretty well.
What's the average on errors for a game for a crew of referees?
Well, at the NBA level, or
Yeah, well, yeah, NBA Finals game. Like,
yeah, so we wouldn't be privy to that because they only put
Oh.
out the 2 minute report, so they only tell us what the grades are for the final 2 minutes. I would say it's probably in the 90th percentile or even higher, maybe 95.
Yeah, I don't pay those 2 minute reports any mind.
yeah,
That's trash. They use it saying they're trying to be transparent, but they know that officials are not going to call the last 2 minutes what they've called in the first 2 minutes. I don't care who's out there hollering a foul is a foul. It is. But a lot of officials and most officials, I'll dare to say, are going to be really patient with their whistle in a game that's going possession by possession, and this call could make or break something. They just are. They're not going to call the same. I mean, well, let's just stick with the level we work on the college level. I mean, some people may not call the same hand check that they called in the first 2 or 3 minutes. And not to say we wouldn't, but a lot of officials are like, we got to let them play.
Yeah,
The
so
last
just
two
so
or
you
3
understand. Just so you understand what Rodney's saying, he said some people, because I'm calling the lane violation on the free throw with 20 seconds left. Calling it. So
Yes,
stay out
he
of
is. Yes, he is.
AC's calling traveling
the
and
game.
double. AC's at the JCC with the 8-year-olds calling everything.
Throughout the game. Whatever it is, I'm calling
Hey,
it.
man.
Listen, let me say something. I worked, I was helping some cats out. I worked some 3-man on Thursday night. I want to I don't know if this guy's on Facebook or not. If he is, I'm sure we're not friends.
The big three?
Dwayne Hooks. Dwayne Hooks not only gave let's say what the first thing he did. He called a foul as time was expiring on a team that was up by 2. Yeah, he called a shooting foul against the team that was up by 2 as time was expiring. Everybody thought the game was over. She missed the shot. This dude's he's got a foul. Hey,
keep it going.
Guts. So this is in a tournament where it's one shot for 2 points. So she made the free throw. We go to overtime. In overtime, the player with the poor attitude on the team that just forced overtime doesn't like a call that he makes. That was a good call. And she looks at him and gets down and slaps the floor with 2 hands. Mind you, she's sitting on a technical already for unsporting behavior. He got her in overtime. And she's there everything. He got her and she's gone.
Wow.
I want to commend him for showing up because he has some stuff to work on. But he wasn't one of those that left me because I've been with partners at all levels that leave you hanging. You give a technical and then they will go and buddy up with the player that you gave a technical to or buddy up with the coach that you gave a technical to. And it's like, listen, they have a technical for unsporting behavior. You're not supposed to be their buddy. He not only didn't do that, but he knew it was going to be her second technical, but she earned it, so he gave it to her. I appreciated that.
But how does Devin Booker play so aggressively with 5 fouls? That's what my thing is. He knew he was going to get no calls.
Well, see, in my mind, and I'm going to counter Rodney's point, but in my mind, I think that is, even though he's one of the great current players, I think that's inexperience. I think that he put his team in a very bad position, and I really think that 9 times out of 10 he is like. First of all, I don't think that superstars usually get to 5 fouls, but if he's gotten to 5, I think that most of the time, 9 times out of 10, that foul will be called, and then he will have fouled out, and it'll just be a bad situation for him. And so I think that that's inexperience that had him play that aggressive. But I think that once he was in it, he was all in it. He was like, well, I'm not letting this dude score because now I'm out of the game.
Yeah.
So then he wound up turning it into a mugging.
I agree with that.
I
But
believe
here's
you.
my counter to what Rodney said. I like the 2-minute report, and let me tell you why. When I see things that I think are blatant, and I'm like, well, how would they explain not calling this? Or how do they explain calling this? I like to see how they explain it. So, counter to what Rodney's saying, when they contact is contact, right? But they can just define it as marginal contact and say good no call because it was marginal contact. At our level, we call it incidental, but they call it marginal in the NBA and the WNBA. Excuse me. So some of that contact that we think is illegal, they're just going to call it marginal. But I want to see what they feel was missed. I really do want to see that. So if to your point, Rod, this is what I do agree with. If you feel like they're not going to call the game the same down the stretch, then cool. Let them just define it as marginal, and they say this is marginal in the last 2 minutes, so this is not what we want, or this is marginal down the stretch. But this was illegal contact, so we wanted you to call that. I want to know as an official watching at higher level, I want to know what I should be expecting to see called when I'm watching, because you know that I'm watching the officials. So I want to know that. I want to know, like, it's funny. It is really funny watching them explain James Harden in the last 2 minutes when he takes 6 steps. It's funny watching them explain Paul George when he takes 6 steps on the way to the layup, and they say that, oh, the gather started on the 3rd step, or the gather was completed on the 4th step. So those last 2 steps were really just his first 2 steps. I love seeing them explain that kind of thing, which I think is bizarre. But I love reading the 2-minute report. I really do.
And I've heard them explain that gather with James Harden a million times, and I still don't get it.
Yeah, he's abused the gather.
Yeah.
My thing with this is a teachable moment for Devin Booker. He said his inexperience by them not making the call. He's not going to learn that you can't play that way with 5 fouls in the heat of the moment of a crucial portion of the game. He's going to still continue to, like, you need to learn that. My son had to learn that playing with 4 fouls in high school.
Yeah.
You need to learn to play it a little bit differently when you got 4 fouls. Still aggressive, but when it comes to point of contact, you got to just put your hand straight up and take those charges or whatever. But if you're going to jump into a player, they're going to call it, and you can't get mad. Now, we did have a couple of officials this year where I said, come on, man, let them kids play. You call them tic-tacs, and they 15 years old. Of course, they're going to be aggressive. But at least Rodney Saucier tell us, hey, man, lay off on the contact. You can't be tackling people out here.
Rod, listen, if you guys don't know what Anthony Cobbs is talking about, let me explain something to you. At every level that Rodney works, Rodney is grandpa official. And he will coach the coaches. He will coach the players. He will coach the tape. Rodney has so much patience.
Yeah, I need to stop all these tackles.
But listen, if you don't want to hear him, Rodney gets a little heated. He won't show you that he's heated on his face, but he'll get you with the whistle. Like, if you don't want to, because he's giving you gems, right? He's giving you more than I'm going to give you for sure, because I'm not out there to coach you. But Rodney is, and this is because Rodney's been a daddy for so long, and I'm new at this. Rodney will give you so much. I'm just like, Rodney, listen, dude, let them look. But yeah, you're right. You're right. You're so right about that, man. Cobbs, you are so right,
man. Do you guys meet? Don't you guys meet with coaches before, like big games? Do you guys have a meeting?
Well, not during the pandemic, but yeah, we used to.
Yeah,
we used to.
I'm calling all this. Tell your players, I'm calling all this.
No, this is what I say. Y'all know me, and then I walk away.
I'm calling everything. 3 seconds, I'm calling it.
You get those coaches that say, "Hey, you know what? I saw them play last week, and they, number 22." He socks people, and number 31, he sticks his leg out every time somebody's going to the basket. Can you just watch for it?
Watch out. He kicks his legs out on 3-pointers.
Yeah. No. They make stuff up, Cobbs. It's not stuff that really happens. They make it up, and they
act like one player.
Yeah, they act like the other officials were inept, and they want to make sure that we're not going to miss it. Or they tell us at halftime, "Hey, he gouged his eye, and then he took it out and then put it back in when nobody was looking. Can you watch for that, please?" And then the other guy untied his shoe and then kicked him in the back of the knee. Can you no? None of that happened. Can you watch for the over the back rep? He's 6 inches taller. He never touched that guy, and there's no such thing as over the back anyway. Goodness gracious. But look,
What gets me is
Over the bag.
no, that guy socked my player. Coach, he socked your player? Yes. And you guys missed it. Who socked your player? Number 30 right there. If he socked your player, every parent in the stands would be on the floor. It would be another Malice in the Palace.
Yeah.
I don't think he socked your player. Like, don't mess up your credibility with me by telling me something outrageous.
Yeah. Parents flop too.
Well,
Coaches flop.
so in that same game, the same game that I'm talking about with Dwayne Hooks, the opposing coach, the one who won, by the way, Rod, it was the winning team was one of the teams that I had in the playoffs, actually in the quarterfinals, high school. So the coach was like, first of all, there was a play on his side, second half, late in the second half. This player goes up, gets her shot blocked. It goes out of bounds. Listen, I don't even know this dude is talking to me. And I wait for the ball to come back, and I get the ball, and I see him standing on the edge of the sideline, kind of close to the end line, and he's da-da-da-da-da, and he looks at me. I said, "Are you talking to me?" He said, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I didn't hear anything that you said. I didn't hear you call my name or anything. What did you say?" And he was like, it's a ticky-tack. And I was like, what, please give me more. And he was like, ticky-tack. I was like, please give me more. And then they're like, the parents, put the ball in play. I was like, well, the coach is talking to me. Y'all hold on. And he said, you just calling ticky-tack stuff and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, okay, what does that mean? He was like, what mean? What does ticky-tack mean? And he was like, you know what ticky-tack means? And I was like, no, I don't. Mind you, I'm not putting the ball in play. Like, this is happening. And he was like, touch fouls. And I said, oh, touch fouls.
It sounds like a...
I said, got it. And then I put the ball in play. And he was like, man, I can't believe this idiot.
Team him up. That sounds like a Key and Peele skit. The Key and Peele skit.
Idiot? He went all the way to idiot. First of all, if we just go by the rule book, it doesn't say touch foul. It doesn't say ticky-tack. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Especially when there was no contact here, but you want something, and down there you guys are mugging them, and you're winning.
Normally the case.
So here's the thing. Rodney knows this about me. Even though I'm clowning now, I don't get emotional when I tee them up. I just keep my composure. I just, give the technical, tell my partner what I have, and we go through it. So after the game, ref. I just keep walking. I go to the sideline because I have once you've made it personal and called me names, we don't need to talk. I get to the sideline. My partner is saying, AC. And I'm like, ignoring him too. So we get to the sideline and I'm like, yeah, I heard you trying to tell me that he was calling me, but I have nothing for him. He called me an idiot. I don't want to talk about it. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, think about that. If somebody makes it personal like that, you don't give them an audience after the game. You walk away from that. So then he comes over and he was like, hey, I just want to apologize to you in front of the team. I said, oh. No, he said I wanted to. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I turned around and kept getting dressed. So I thought it was over. Like, you missed your window. Nah, this dude comes over and he's like, please? Fuck. All right. So I go over and let him apologize to me in front of his team. But let me tell you this motherfucker's apology. He says, yeah, so I'm sorry about that. I wanted to say it in front of my team. My behavior was unacceptable. And the thing is, you're just doing your best out there like I'm trying to do my best. So sorry about that. No, motherfucker, I wasn't just doing my best. Yeah, I was, but my call wasn't wrong, you stupid ass. Like, we had two officials down there watching that fucking play, and there was no contact. Like, on our side, it's one of those dual coverage areas where you can see from the lead and the trail, there is nothing. No, I'm sorry, I was across. It was the lead and the C. Right there, there's no contact. Neither one of us had anything because there wasn't anything. So, yes, I am just doing my best. And you happen to win this game in spite of doing your best because you're a clown. But that's fine. I accept your apology. Assistant
Teaching the
coaching the
kids,
team as the head coach during the summer.
teaching the
Anyway,
kids bad information.
3 for 5 with a sacrifice fly.
Mook.
I really needed this dude to take the All-Star game off and just get as healthy as he could with those 4 or 5 days off. Mookie is on a tear right now, and the Dodgers are 1-0 post All-Star break. But unfortunately, so are the Giants and the Padres. And the Padres scored like 70 runs last night. So, boy, did they add to their run differential. They
Is
got
Mookie
busy.
is Mookie eating meat yet?
I don't know about that.
He's back on meat. That's why he's balling.
Oh, okay. Boom. Back on me.
No, I'm just
Speaking
kidding,
of
man. I don't
speaking of
know.
meat. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, no, I'm not. I thought that was Elaine saying language. I'm not sorry. Hi, Nina. I got to give a little cultural language at times. You know, I got to let them know that I'm not just always prim and proper. Shout out to Nina, whose birthday is August 30th. She's invited some of us to Scottsdale to celebrate with her. And I've never celebrated anything with Nina, so I might go. I was talking to Brianna about it last night. We'll see what's what. We might go. But I'm not watching my language. I only say 3 or 4 curse words per episode. And that was that stretch. So there you go. Baseball, the Dodgers are clearly the best team in baseball, and the Giants right now are clearly 1A. So boy, is this a
It's gonna be
crazy,
tough,
crazy,
man.
crazy, 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 crazy season.
It's gonna be
Um,
tough.
yeah.
It's gonna
But
be tough.
yeah, shout out to the Dodgers. They're clicking. Today is Saturday. Tomorrow, David Price is pitching, and I don't know if he's pitching as an opener or if this is a real start where he's going the distance. He pitched as an opener the other day, and the rest of the bullpen spoiled it, and we lost the damn game. Language, Nina. And so we'll see what happens. But yeah, 1-0 post All-Star break. Let's go. Dodgers, Giants. Dodgers over the Giants and the Padres. The NL West is clearly the best division in baseball. What happened to the Rays? And what happened to the Yankees?
I don't know.
The Rays are not bad, but Boston looks great. And you guys know I used to be a Red Sox fan. So shout out to Boston Red Sox. They are 7-0 against the Yankees this season. Or is it 9-0?
That's dominance.
9-0. 9-0.
I'm wondering if the Yankees changed like player personnel because they had such dominance for so long and they just can't put it together. Like they're signing people that they think will be the next great thing, and then they're paying these guys astronomical amounts of money, and they still don't get the dividends that they used to get when they had Jeter and A-Rod and Mariano Rivera and CC Sabathia. Those guys were just guaranteed 100 wins. Now, who are they scouting? Like guys, they're bringing in these guys. This guy's gonna be the next this and this and that, and then it's not so. So I know they've been hit by the injury bug, but something's going on in New York that we can't really put our finger on. I'm not tripping either way. As long as the Dodgers are balling, I don't care. But I would love to see a Yankees Dodgers World Series one day. In my lifetime, it's not going to happen.
That's where Boston is killing them. Boston is making better moves
Better
with the
players.
front office, and the Yankees, they just, I don't know. Like you said, players are not panning out at all.
They're throwing money at them. I mean, they're probably picking the wrong players. Like some players don't play well when they get paid. I mean,
They can't.
Giancarlo Stanton ain't did nothing since he got down there. He
I
get
don't
paid,
even.
though.
I don't even hear his name anymore. Like, and Aaron Judge, he plays here and there, but you don't have them on the field at the same time for any length of time. It's almost like the Clippers. Like one plays, one doesn't.
Oh,
Did I say that out loud?
All
he
right,
did.
so
The Yankees got championships.
what I realized is that
Ooh, the
we
Clippers.
probably shouldn't talk American League baseball with these two guys because they got us sounding crazy. So let's go back to the National League. Outside of the Giants, are the Dodgers at all threatened? Oh, you guys see Jock Peterson got traded?
Again. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to the Braves.
To Atlanta, yeah.
He'll end up back on the Dodgers for free. He'll end up back on the Dodgers. And somebody else will pay his salary like Pujols. We got Pujols for free. Dodgers are big Pujols fan.
Yeah.
I like Jock in the preseason. I like Jock in the postseason. We'll get him when we need him.
What, you think we're gonna get him back?
Yeah. Just for the postseason.
Here we go again. Bad boy sound. Get on field USA. Block entertainment. So I go by the name Diddy, right?
Young
Gotta
Jock.
give a shout another motherfucker at my squad, right? This nigga, man. This nigga go by the name of Jock. Young Jock. He resides in College Park, right?
No, he resides in College Park. He got traded to the Braves.
If that's his walk-up music.
It used to be.
Oh, was it? Oh,
At Dodger Stadium.
Oh, yeah,
It
that
used
was
to
it.
be.
Yeah, that was his intro for sure. He knew. He knew.
Hey, I'm
That's
telling
funny.
you, when Magic and his group took over the Dodgers, they brought in the DJs, they brought in everything, and all the players had good walk-up music.
Walk up music.
What would be your walk-up song, Rod? In AC?
Man, what would be my?
Lenny Williams, because I love you.
Oh man,
Do 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 do. Here comes Rodney Saucier comes to the plate.
it would have to be something by it would have to be some kind of Long Beach music, the East Siders or G'd Up. I don't know.
Oh man.
You want to hear mine?
Oh Lord. Tender Love.
Oh, yeah. It ain't over.
Every time. Every time you come to the plate. Every time.
I could.
I would obviously wait till this part.
I could see every parent grabbing their child going to get a Dodger dog right away.
That's how I'm coming to the plate.
That's just ghetto, man.
I mean, obviously, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
He is not kidding.
He's not kidding.
You know,
He'd be mean mugging on the way up to the plate, like May face all mad.
no,
Bat- Bat flipping.
Back flipping. And be flinching at the pitcher like what? What?
Oh man.
I would have to come out to my favorite group of all time, and it would have to be.
PM Don?
There you go. There you go.
You come out this set adrift the memory bliss of you. Ta-da. Ta-da. Come to New Edition. Oh
Man, I just
man.
want to know, can you stand the rain? No, real talk. Real talk. I would come out to Tupac for sure.
I come up to Public Enemy.
Black
Louder than the bomb. I'll probably
Oh, well, Louder Than the Bomb is my 4th of July reference.
Yeah. That means,
Absolutely. And I played that when you guys were talking about that 4th of July celebration.
oh man.
No.
Yeah, I come up to some Chuck D, angry. Every at bat I'm angry. I just have a whole rotation of PE songs. I have Rebel Without a Pause. I have my intro song from my show is Prophets of Rage. All them songs get you going, man.
Yeah.
PE
But
was
here-
my pregame music.
Yeah. And here's what I would really come out to, all jokes aside.
I won't deny you. I'm a straight rider.
That'd be a good intro song.
That's it. I'm ambitious as a rider. And listen, so I told you guys I went golfing with Roland Wright, right? My buddy Roland, and I told you that he's Marlene's husband. So Marlene, my homegirl Marlene, used to have a voice. Her outgoing message on her voicemail was, "Hold on, you guys talk. Let me set this up because I gotta do this for you." Hold on.
Hey man, it was funny
Hey.
because my son's last little league team, they all had walk up music, and there's one little kid, little Latino kid, he's a little chubbier. He let his dad pick his walk up song, and it was George Lopez theme song by War, Lowrider. It was so funny, man. Every time he came up there, he was small, he was short, his bat was really long,
And he was
and
small and short.
every time he came up, pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 and everybody would just be laughing. And he would take walks. He would never hit. He would never swing. The pitcher couldn't find his strike zone. And he would walk and he'll smile at the audience. He'll smirk because he can't get a hit and he can't get struck out because he's so small.
Wow.
Low
All
rider.
right. So this is the setup. So you would call, it would ring, and then her voicemail would pick up, and she would say, "Hi, you reached Marlon and oh, fuck, it messed up. Hold on. Ah, goodness gracious.
He messed up the joke.
Ah, I just had it. Hold on.
Sweet.
I'll be back.
See, Cobbs just reminded me. I said the East Siders, and I'm like dissing my cousin who created that song for War. Who's a Poly alum. Shout out to my cousin Harold Brown. Yeah, I might have to pick a War song. Probably Cisco Kid.
So for you, it would either be
Cisco Kid.
War or
That'd be
Trey
good.
D.
Cisco Kid
Oh, Cisco
was
Kid
a
was a
friend of
jam.
mine.
Yeah.
Put that on my blooper reel. I got you. All right, so this is what it would be. It would be, she says, "Hi, you wait, what she said? Hi, you reached Marlon and that's what her voicemail was. You reached Marlon and you
Ding, ding,
was
ding, ding.
yeah, just like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, she probably doesn't even remember that shit, but I do.
Dee, 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 dee.
Nothing.
I think I think this kind of context of that song, my ambitions as a writer, the sample from the Pee Wee Herman song. Remember that song? Remember that rap song? The Pee Wee Herman. Do 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 do. I'm
Even had a
wondering.
dance to it. I know Elaine could do the dance.
Ding ding ding. I'm just wondering how gangster is that song, but the origin of the song wasn't very gangster. But
Moving right along.
Tupac.
Did he change the artwork?
Oh, that bass line be kicking, bro. Coming to play, Rodney Saucier. He's 2 for 3, batting .357, leading the league in bats, on base percentage, old base slugging percentage. Rodney.
And mind you, we know the Dodgers have a heavy Latino population, so
Oh man, they would love it.
that stadium would be rocking.
They'll be like elbows out. Rodney Saucier! Rodney Saucier, hey! Rodney, hey! That's that fool, that's my fool!
But see, the problem with that, just so you guys know, is that Rodney drank the whiskey and the wine, and that's
I sure did.
Rodney got so. So listen, I never noticed this, and I think he changes the artwork a bit because he's flexing like that. But Tommy Smith and John Carlos, over my man's left shoulder. Was that 68?
Yeah.
Now, John Carlos went to school with your grandson, right, Rod?
What? What? I just realized what you said. His grandson.
If Rod had a grandson that was a grown ass man in '68, right? Shout out to Tommy Smith and John Carlos over his left shoulder. Shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar over his right shoulder. Like that's legendary and activists, right?
Yeah.
The three of them. And then I think he's somewhere over his own shoulder. So yeah.
So while we're talking about baseball, let's jump on this thing about the Major League Baseball is pledging $150 million to black causes.
Okay.
This is to, boost participation. So they're going to pledge, I think it's 10 million a year for 15 years for black causes as it refers to baseball.
That's a blanket statement if I've ever heard one. Where is it going? And how is it going to be used?
Exactly. I hate these kind of little deals like this. Shoot, I mean, like if you got a good grant writer, they're going to write most of that money in the executives' pockets before they touch anything else. And I want to know, how do you cure the issue of not having black managers by throwing $150 million to promote Little League baseball? One thing has nothing to do with the other.
It's a pacifier.
Yeah. Yeah. And people got bothered when I said the same thing about Michael Jordan. Like, oh, you're going to pledge $100 million to HBCUs for what? Put your name on something where they can benefit from it all around. If you say, hey, I'm making FAMU, Jordan Brand, I'm going to redo their facility. I'm going to give them a new weight room or whatever. Save your save your 100 million. Do that and make players want to come there. That's how you boost the institution. You don't just throw money behind it and say, oh, well, what you want me to do? I wrote them a check.
That's
no.
That's the lazy way of doing it.
Right. That's the easy way out to say I did something. And I never agree with that, because there are times when money is necessary, but then there are times where when you have that much power, like Major League Baseball, like Michael Jordan, or like some of these others who do that, your name and your contacts alone will help. I mean, when Jordan was shooting Space Jam, they went and built this dude a whole gym and everything else on the set of the movie set. Now you telling me that he couldn't, and he got Nike to do it. You telling me he couldn't get Nike to say, hey, you know what? Redo the floor in this gym. Redo this weight room. Fix the leaky ceiling and whatever, go fix the roof on the top of Southern University. They have a nice stadium, but it needs repairs. Like, fix that for them and make it attractive. Don't just throw money at them and just walk away. I hate that, and I feel like Major League Baseball is doing the same thing. Well, you know what? We heard your cries loud and clear. This is what we're going to do. We're going to just write you a check, and you guys are going to see if you can, get some black kids to go play in all of the city areas. And what you're doing is saying, we want you to go find the best and bring them into our league. That's it. You're going to get some great players.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the coaching and the executive stuff is going to change because you bring in a good player.
So there's a problem when we talk about lack of black leadership in Major League Baseball. I agree with that. But when we talk about giving $150 million to an organization that is formed specifically to help participation in the sport from black people specifically, and I don't think that's blanket. To me, that's not blanket like, oh, I'm giving X amount of dollars to HBCUs. I think this is something that's very pointed, because this is guys that have been in the trenches, guys that have come from whatever they came from and succeeded in Major League Baseball, and they want to give back to their community, and now they have $150 million bump in addition to whatever they're also putting in addition to whatever funds they're raising outside of Major League Baseball. I want to see this. I want to see this play out. The Players Alliance is it's a nonprofit organization that was formed by Black Major League players, current and former Black players, who want to see participation grow in the Black community. So I'm not invalidating anything that you guys are saying about where money's gone in the past, and I'm not saying that shit is sweet in Major League Baseball because it's not. You know, the Black players in baseball are few and far between. But if this nonprofit was already planning on doing something without the 150 million, and then they get the 150 million in addition to whatever else they get, I want to see what they do with that money. Major League Baseball is not making the decisions. Major League Baseball is not. We're not tasking them with figuring it out, even though there are a lot of things they need to figure out as it pertains to Black people and Black people in Major League Baseball. So I think this is a good thing, and I think that there is a destination for these dollars, and I think it's now on the Players Alliance to distribute this money however they need to, so that participation can be up. And I do agree with the things that you're saying about Jordan, and agree with what you're saying about, you know, the call to action from Nike, the call to action from Jordan Brand, and that's why when I see things like this, I'm disturbed. I don't know if you guys, if anybody on here are Chargers fans, but Austin Eckler is a Los Angeles Charger. He's a brother. He's not from California. But I don't know if you guys know this, but the LA Chargers play in LA. I mean, in Inglewood. The LA Chargers play in Inglewood, and they used to play in Cardinals. Why in the hell this dude went to Santa Barbara High School to build a new gym after driving past Inglewood High School, Morningside High School, and a million other high schools that could have used the help? So either Inglewood, where you play, or LA, whose name you use, and you go build a gym in Santa Barbara High School. Now, I looked into this, and I saw that he partnered with a firm in Santa Barbara, so maybe they...
Vacation spot. That's all that was.
I don't, but come on, man. Like, and I don't know about Santa Barbara High School, but I imagine anything in Santa Barbara is better off than most of the things in Inglewood outside of SoFi Stadium.
Hey, man.
So this was something that bothered me.
You said partner. You said partner. The key word was partner. And I agree, man. AC, I want to see it play out. I want to see specific allocations. Like, I think about Robert Covington, who actually purchased Tennessee State, a new facility. Like Rodney saying, Michael Jordan wants to help out. Say, FAMU is getting this on my dollar, on my name. Specific dollar amounts. I remember the Compton Baseball Association had a big push from the Major League Baseball to bring Compton baseball back and Black kids come play baseball. Are we talking about no fees for travel ball for kids? Are we talking about facilities that will invite kids to come play baseball? Like, my son wanted to play baseball until he got, a little bit more basketball minded, but there was nothing that made him want to come play baseball. I don't think kids in the hood want to go play baseball because of what they've built. Put a couple of pennants up or a couple of posters up that, hey, Black baseball is coming back, or whatever it might be. Specifically, how is this $150 million going to really affect the perception of baseball in inner cities? Kids still don't want to play baseball. They see basketball on TV. They see people that look like them that play football. And football and basketball is right in their face. And it's not as expensive as baseball is. So if they can waive all these travel ball fees, maybe establish some name brand guys to come out and put on these camps to get kids back excited about baseball. I know about y'all. I loved baseball as a kid, almost more than basketball and football. And for some reason, over the years, it was less attractive. And I just know that it's not by accident. And I think they're trying to right some wrongs from years and years and years of neglecting these areas. So it might just be them throwing money to shut us up. But if they want to make a difference, like AC from LA is saying, let's see it play out. Let's see what they really do with this money. And if we don't see a change, then we'll know what Rodney and I are assuming is this just money being thrown out for us to be quiet.
Yeah, facts. And that's and because we've seen such a drop in black participation in baseball, I think it's great to see that the best player in baseball is black. And I know it's arguable. People want to argue the Mookie Betts thing, and you could say, oh, it might be. I mean, it's Betts, but you could say Tatis, you can say Otani, but they don't have rings. He's got rings in two different places, and he was the difference maker. And he is hands down the best defender in baseball. And when he's on, he's the best offensive player in baseball. He's just not on right now. But when you put it together, even his non-best on the offensive side, put it with being the best on defense and doing everything that he does on the bases, best player in baseball. But they don't do, in my opinion, Major League Baseball doesn't do enough to market Mookie Betts. So that's something that they could do. In fairness, nope, not in fairness, because I saw them doing a lot of marketing for Mike Trout. So I'd like to see it. And Mike Trout couldn't hold this dude's glove. Couldn't hold this
And
dude's glove.
all the brothers that I have, like I thought CC Sabathia was a Dominican. I didn't know he was from Oakland.
You, you know, didn't he go to Skyline?
He went to Skyline. He was
Yeah.
brother. This is a
Yeah.
straight brother.
Yeah.
He should have been
Right.
a
Right.
straight
Did you get his
brother.
book? Did you get his
No,
book?
I have not. I know he has a great testimony.
Yeah, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm gonna get it. So the program that Cobbs was talking about was RBI, Reviving Baseball in the Inner Cities, and they did build that facility in Compton, and I spent some time there and was helping out. Shout out to my man Eric Aguiar who brought me in there, but not enough has been done. So much more needs to be done. But again, the Players Alliance, I think, is the key to this. I think this makes this different than other times when it's just money, because this is money going to an organization. And again, organizations do bad things all the time, but this is an organization founded by current and former Black Major League Baseball players, whose mission is to increase participation in baseball in the Black community, and obviously help get more Black major leaguers, and ultimately more Blacks in power softball. So I want to see it happen. Go ahead, Rob.
I think it would help if some of those retired players came back and coached their high school teams like you see in football and basketball. I think that would really drive up participation in baseball, because baseball is so technical that people would be knocking down the door to get their kid, to learn how to correctly hit or throw a pitch, and especially if it's done in the right places, particularly the right schools, because that would matter. Where, a school like Poly, you got players that have come out of Poly, but you don't have the same type of players that have come out of Poly. Like a Tony Gwynn or something like that.
Is that something this $150 million could be used towards? In that, if we did this, because a lot of times people don't take the time to go back to their alma mater and coach because there's nothing in it except the kids, and a lot of people aren't financially in position to do that. So if you can find a way to at least make a decent salary for a coach, I'm not saying give them $1 million, but private school coaches get six figures. Let's make it at least worth their while, because their name does help. I mean, they're trying to bring kids back to the sport. And sad to say, us parents are so fickle and shallow that I would let my son go play for Milton Bradley at Poly. I would let my son go play for Chase what's his name?
Utley.
Chase Utley at Poly, whatever it might be. Any of these, Dante Powell at Millikan, whoever the local hero was, and he comes back. That's immediate. Like Raul Lara is now coaching at St. Anthony's football. Every parent in Long Beach knows that his name has some weight, and they're calling him up to bring their kids to play football for him. The same thing can happen for baseball. If you put a name out there, just imagine if Ricky Henderson went back to his hometown and said, Ricky Henderson is coaching y'all, and he does a press conference. Ricky Henderson is here for your kids. I'm Ricky Henderson, and I approve this message. Sending my kid to play for Ricky Henderson.
So So just understand that Tony Carter's favorite player is Ricky Henderson, and Tony Carter would love to see Ricky Henderson still in baseball, but I don't know if Tony Carter believes that would be good for to have an individual who speaks in
Third
third
person.
person.
Ricky Henderson likes what you're doing. Look here,
Hey,
son.
man.
Ricky Henderson approves of how you playing. Ricky Henderson really approves how you guys are playing.
But Tony Carter does approve Ricky Henderson in general. Tony Carter believes that Ricky Henderson is one of the all-time greats and is his favorite player. But Tony Carter also believes that when all is said and done, it'll probably be Mookie. So we'll go from 24 to 50. But third person
Well, look at
rank.
Mookie Betts' travel ball basketball team. Mookie Betts, his name is on the front of the basketball team, like his Mookie Betts AAU basketball team. I want my son to play for Mookie Betts, even if it's a different sport.
Hey, and I could see Zaire hearing him talking to third person one time and coming home and just saying,
Zaire
"Dad,
wants chicken nuggets.
oh my
Hey,
Hey,
goodness,
Dad, Zaire wants chicken nuggets, please.
Zaire needs some chicken nuggets.
Zaire needs a ride to Granny's house." Zaire ain't walking nowhere. Give me a ride.
Ricky was classic, man. Ricky was the Lucius Lion of baseball.
Yeah, but there are different ways to grow something. I've yet to see something say, "Hey, come meet Mookie Betts at Bank of America on Wilshire." What I mean, anything like previous years, you know, the owner would tell the players, "Hey, I also own a bank. Can you come in?" I remember when my boy Mo Wiley played for the Orlando Magic. Pat Williams, the owner, he owned a bank, and he'd say, "Hey, Moreland, I'll pay you. Can you just come in and sign some autographs in front of the bank for me for about an hour?" And Moreland, Nick Anderson, the different players that Jerry Reynolds, they would go and sign some autographs for about an hour and make some thousands of dollars. But it kept the kids interested, and it's like, oh, they're reachable, and then they have a camp after that, and the camps fill up. You got to have the players reachable to the kids instead of just sending them to St. Jude's or telling them to give to McDonald's charities and whatever. You got to make them reachable to the kids who know them from wherever. Like Cobbs was saying, when Dante Powell comes into Long Beach, he's here. He's reachable. People can access him, and that goes a long way for kids wanting to grow up and do that, because they can ask him questions. And if somebody could ask Justin Turner questions, it would drive up their want to participate in the sport. But baseball, it needs to be marketed better to black children, and the WNBA needs to be marketed much better. Those are two places where we need better marketing for our next generation.
Amen.
Dope. I'm with it. We done with baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably gonna have to talk about
I got a
my
brand new baseball bat in the garage. My son quit as soon as I bought it.
Damn.
The thing cost like $800.
Damn.
we probably should dig into this Richard Sherman thing, man.
All right, let me just say this real quick. U.S. women's national team. I don't know if you guys know this, so I need to bring it to light, since we care when there are black people. This is Kristen Press. She's number 23 on the national team. She's black, in case you guys didn't know. Just wanted you to know, okay? So Crystal Dunn and Kristen Press both start. But Crystal Dunn is, I don't know how to spell her name. Crystal Dunn is black. But you might not have known that Kristen Press was black. So I just wanted you guys to know.
I need to see your edges curl up a little bit. Her edges ain't curling up yet. I need to see them. I need to see them edges curl up. Yeah, go back to her. I need to see I need to see the kitchen or the edges. She might be adopted.
Oh my goodness,
I
she's not
need,
adopted. You stop. All right, look at me. I'm trying to do something, and this dude, she might.
I need to. Hey man, the edges or the kitchen.
Listen,
Something has to curl up.
Kristen Fresh. There are only two in the starting lineup. Those are the
Hey,
two. All right. So boom.
she,
Welcome back. Welcome back. Softball should win a gold medal. And then U.S. women's national team for soccer should also win a gold medal. Stephen A. Smith went on whatever show he was on, First Take, I guess, and
he been messing
said
up.
some things about Otani. I don't really want to get into it now. I want to get off of baseball. But in the same episode, he belittled the Nigerian, the victorious Nigerian basketball team. He berated them and made fun of their name and came back and apologized to Otani and the Asian community, but then had to be prompted to apologize to the Nigerian basketball team and Nigerians abroad, even though it was in the same episode. So that was really interesting. But he did ultimately apologize for all that he did on that show. I don't know that it's enough. I don't know that he understands, why that was so detrimental to the Nigerian team. But he always tells us that he's black, and we know that he's black. But that was bad, what he did with the Nigerians. Like, okay, you didn't think they should have beaten the U.S. team, then the U.S. team should have won. But they did beat them. And for you to make fun of their names was just absolutely ridiculous. I think I missed this. Elaine was saying something about the Kings. Oh, yeah.
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 And that's a great point that she made too.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
I remember with our school district, we have the LA Kings partnership, and they come out to our campuses and do after school every day. It felt like, and them kids out there playing hockey. Now they want to play.
Really.
Well,
when Gretzky was here, it exploded, and they made sure that they marketed hockey in the Los Angeles area. I mean, like, I had never seen hockey arenas around Long Beach, and now they're 2 or 3.
Yeah. All right. Richard Sherman, Rod.
Yeah. So if you saw the video is bad with him trying to break the door down and get into his in-laws' house. So apparently, I don't know if there was some kind of altercation or whatever the dispute was. He went to his in-laws' house. His wife was there, and she called 911, said he was drunk and that he was threatening to kill himself, and that he was getting physical with her uncle, I guess.
Everybody.
And so I hate when they do this, but they released the video of him trying to break through the door to get in the house. And it looks bad. And someone asked me yesterday, did I think that it was because of CTE? And I couldn't answer that question. I don't know. Because apparently there's not much I know about Richard Sherman besides, when you put somebody out there like Crabtree, shut him down.
He's already tabbed as a very aggressive person.
Right. So, I know he's a talker. I know he gets loud and he's opinionated or whatever. I didn't know he was a drinker. So his wife said that he was drunk. I don't know what Richard Sherman's drunk looks like. So I can't say yay or nay on that. He didn't sound drunk. He didn't appear to stumble or have any signs where he was heavily intoxicated. but I didn't know he could hit that hard. When he rammed that door, I'm like, whoa, I guess he can bring it on the field. I've seen him cover, but I guess I didn't pay attention to his tackling. But he can
Funny,
bring the
man.
wood. Uh, but yeah, man, it was sad to see. I hope he gets the help he needs because that was bad, and I don't see him playing football this season.
I saw
Not
it
after
too.
that.
I saw it too, Rodney, but I totally saw it differently. I saw a very aggressive brother under the influence of some type of substance. Because we know who Richard Sherman is. We don't know how if he was drunk or if he was high, but he beat somebody up? I heard he beat her mom, her dad up, something like that. But when they first said burglary and
Hmm.
domestic violence, something like
Right,
that, and then they showed the video, I'm just kind of like, well, that was pretty intense, but it was on an object. He was trying to break down the door and was unsuccessful. And
right.
he kept saying, well, come outside then. So yes, it's an altercation, and I believe he was under the influence. I thought he was drunk, and because we know who he is intellectually, he's a Stanford grad. I want to say I actually was a substitute teacher at Dominguez High School when he was there, because I had a very smart group of kids in an honors English class, and I had all the football players sitting in the front row, and they were an excellent bunch. I want to say he was in that bunch. I can't, for a certain know that he was in that bunch, but I know I've met him once or twice. This is out of character, so I'm hoping his clean record will help him get beyond this. He'll get the help he needs if it's alcohol, if it's just anger. I hear he's been having some mental issues recently. You can't diagnose CTE till someone's dead, so we can't use that. And he's not a hitter. He hasn't been banging. He uses his hands a lot, so I wouldn't say it's CTE. He just might be an emotionally disturbed cat because he's angry about certain things. So we don't know. I hate that we make people guilty before proven innocent in this
Hmm.
society. So of course they're going to go back to how aggressive he was in that interview after that game and how he plays aggressively. He's from Compton. He has dreadlocks. Oh yeah, this is a typical of a black man. So
Right.
I hope it doesn't happen this way. I can see him getting past this if he gets the right people to help him out. But I was not. I wasn't floored by the video. I said, okay, yeah, he was mad. He was trying to break in the door. He was unsuccessful. What else did he do? So I thought it was not as bad. I thought it was telling, but not the initial headline. I thought he might have beat
Hmm.
his wife up. I
Hmm.
thought he might have broke in the house and stole some stuff. So my thought was, he's a millionaire. Why would he steal? Like
Right.
burglary. Burglary is like, oh well, he might have damaged the property. Did he break the door? So I don't know, man. I'll wait to see what happens. I hope he gets past this, man. I like what
And
I
when
like.
when I when I hear stuff like that, it's normally, at the end, oh, well, he grabbed her cell phone.
Yeah,
It's like, that's burglary.
I'm
um,
pretty sure he paid for it.
right.
So
It's-
all right. So I'll say something now. So what they said was in that town, um, when
where
you
where are they?
are somewhere in Washington, I don't know exactly where. I don't think it was
Mhm.
Seattle. It's like somewhere outside of Seattle.
Suburbs,
Um,
yeah.
you want to look that up while I'm talking, right? In that town, burglary, the way that it's structured, it's burglary if you are intending to enter a premises to commit a crime, even if you're not trying to steal anything. So if you're unlawfully um, trying to enter a place, it's automatically burglary, even if you're not trying to steal. So they did make that clear, like they had to call it burglary because that's what their statute calls for. I also want to point out what Ashley Moss said, his wife. At this time, we're going to make no statements except he didn't harm anybody. My kids were not harmed in the incident. He's a good person, and this is not his character. We're doing all right, just trying to get him out. I want people to know no one was injured. So I hear a lot of speculation about altercations and all of that, but unless you guys have heard something else, yeah, Belmont, um, I'm going by what his wife said. Like he
Hmm.
didn't harm anyone,
Yeah.
and no one was injured other than the minor injuries between Richard Sherman and the cops with the little tussle at the end, the whole no harm no foul situation. But I know there's a lot of speculation about, this and that about, violence, but it seemed like the main thing was him on the door.
Is it a crime to fight? Is it a crime to fight somebody that wants to fight you, like a fair one? Like he wanted to fight the dad, right? He was like, "Come outside so we can fight." Had the police.
Was it the dad or the uncle?
It was a man in
I,
the
I
family.
wasn't sure
It was a
because there
man
were
in the
several
family.
people in the house. She said
Right.
the wife said on the 911 call that he got physical with someone in her family.
That happens at every
And
cookout. I need to know
and the
more.
911 caller says, "Well, do you mean physical or did he beat up someone?" And she was kind of going back and forth. And then they started getting into it. The 911 caller was the 911 dispatch operator. It was kind of
Terrible.
like she was clueless.
And that's where the
She
context comes in, man. Our cultures are different. Like a family dispute between uncles can get a little physical. So when they arrive on the scene, is it a fair one between uncles? A fair one
right,
between, sometimes an uncle will punch a cousin. A cousin will punch another cousin. You call the authorities, you run the risk, man. So it's a tough situation. Sometimes this stuff, keep it in house if you can, because now look at the charges that came out. Like they've been lessened, I believe. They've been lowered because is that why he was not allowed bail? The initial charges.
Yeah, so what they said was anytime that there's burglary, you can't just get bailed out. You have to see a judge in Redmond, Washington. So they I think that they explained all this just to show like things are not what they things are not necessarily how they appear.
right,
He's being charged with burglary just because of the way that the statute is written. He is being held without bail just because everyone is held without bail until they see a judge because of the way that they have things structured there. You have to see a judge. And so yeah, and it's Redmond, Washington. And it's a Seattle suburb essentially. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
When I see stuff like this, man, I always wonder because they said that he got into an accident before he got to the residence. He left the car, and I always wonder when somebody's this pissed off, what got them there? Because you don't just wreck the car and leave it and say, you know what, forget that. I got to get to where I'm going
Well, hold
because
on.
I
He
need to.
said throw it in the gutter and go buy another. So are you sure? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry.
But I always, but and that's why I said it. He looked visibly super angry, and you know, he. She said he had a bottle of vodka and a bottle of Hennessy, and that just to me didn't look like he had two bottles. It looked now he. If I had to guess, I would have said maybe he was high on something,
Yeah,
not drunk. Uh,
he was
but
intoxicated on something.
yeah, but
That was a
shoot,
mean. That's a mean spades game. If he was that mad, like somebody reneged, uh, somebody did something.
right.
Oh,
Played a domino bogus or what? Something.
somebody, somebody did something. Somebody said
maybe somebody was late
somebody was late.
And you know what? I
to
mean,
the podcast.
just thinking about
Don't show up to the podcast.
the wife with talking to the dispatcher. Um, like there are cultural differences there.
Oh yeah,
You know, she's saying, "Hey, look, you need to get a police officer over here right now." When
but
we
they,
say that, it's real.
yeah. But
Like
the danger
Uncle Elroy is
is
about to
on
cut
one.
this fool.
But
You about to hurt.
what's dangerous about that in today's society is they could come with with guns blazing. We got a
And
six
she,
foot three,
yeah,
205-pound cornerback from the NFL. We can't control him. Or we'll come control him. Pop,
right.
pop.
And she kept saying, he's not armed. He's not armed. He doesn't have any weapons.
They gonna still
So,
come shooting.
right. But well, we didn't hear that part.
That's why it's
um,
dangerous. And please, that's my closeout early. Don't call the police if you don't have to. If you have to call them, please call
yeah,
Smitty and Hoppy Call your call your friends to come down there like Sanford and Son. 'Cause they'll come and listen to you before they
Yeah, it
shoot.
just it was just all strange to me, and I just wonder because I mean, like we were saying before, with a black household, you don't know what's going on. Somebody could been behind that door, fat mouthing. There's always one of those who's super tough behind the door. Like, yeah, you lucky
Yeah,
I
babe,
can't get
I'm
out there
on the
to you.
podcast.
And
Hmm.
he's like, well, come on out.
Yeah.
I mean,
The little boy
we
said,
don't
"Pull up
know.
on me, pull
Disgusting.
up on me, pull
Right.
up on me,
So
pull up."
I'm anxious to kind of hear how that's going to see how that's going to play out because I just, like I said, I guess I don't know anything about him to know his personality and how he rolls. And he doesn't even look like a Hennessy drinker to me. He looked like one of them dudes that sit in a restaurant and drink a glass of wine with two fingers.
Oh wow.
Uh, you know, uh, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it was just sad to hear. And now he's on the back end of his career. He was waiting to see where he wanted to sign and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, who signs the guys that have a little problem with the law? Raiders, Cowboys, Bengals. Those are
this is
spots.
true.
Those are spots.
Um,
The Raiders need him.
got to ready?
Let's go. Let it run. Play it.
Now under control. Then wrap my 6-4 around the telephone pole. I looked at my car and I feel so good. I throw it in the gutter and go by.
All right. I just had
He was he was so quiet for about 2 or 3 minutes. I knew
He
he
had
was
to
up to
find that
something.
track. He had
I
to go
knew he was
find
up
that.
to something.
DJ AC from LA.
Oh man.
Yeah, he giving us all the music today.
Oh man. And
I'm a,
you already know what we're closing out with. All right. Um, so yeah, we didn't really get to NFL, but it's all good. I'm about to work it's not my flex, it's Rod's flex. Just let me get it out, cops. I'm about to work the Cowboys training camp coming up. I'm also about to work some Rams scrimmages and practices, but guess what? I got Rodney on the list. I don't even think he knows. He's about to be working some Ram stuff too. Did you read the text?
I did.
Okay.
I got back late last night, but yeah.
So it's a Rod flex. He's about to work Rams practices pretty
Congratulations,
soon
brothers.
for the first time. So
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
shout out to Rod for um, stepping up. Like things are happening for him in football. He's doing some other stuff behind the scenes. So stay tuned. Rod's
Thank you,
coming up.
sir.
All right, Mr. Cobbs, you want to close out, brother?
Um, what's going on today? A lot of basketball at this Pangos 32 at the map, and it's just a it's a pandemic spreader fest. So I go in there with my mask on, and people are looking at me crazy, but you know, as we continue to move back to normalcy, um, I don't know, man. They just said you got to wear masks again in public places. I don't know what to believe. So everybody just take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have as much enjoyment as you can. I just tried to start watching Space Jam last night. Um, I, I had to stop it 15 minutes in and said I want my wife and my son to sit here and watch it with me, so I can't exaggerate what I'm seeing.
Mm.
So far, I wouldn't say so bad, so good. It is what it is. It's a piece of film, and the Don Cheeto thing. My wife can't stand Don Cheeto for some reason, and
Uh,
I'm
she
hoping it
don't.
gets.
She doesn't like mouse.
She didn't like him from Earl the Goat, Manigoat, the movie. So
Wow.
she's not like Don Cheeto ever since. So she's like, I love LeBron, but I hate Don Cheeto, so I'm gonna be torn watching this movie.
Wow.
So, but but yeah, we're gonna sit and have some time together watching that. But today we'll be at the map watching basketball. My son's playing with a new team, so uh, spend time with your fam. Everybody love over each other, and I think my family lost one of my uncles passed away this week, Uncle Ronald. So take care of your families. Reach out, speak to them if you haven't spoke to them in a long time. Everybody be good. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace out. Blessings. I'm out.
Rest in peace to your Uncle
Cool.
Ronald.
Thank you.
Yes.
Joy Washington Cobbs. I'm a fan, but boy, does she have this one completely backwards. Hate is a strong word, so I wouldn't say I hate LeBron, but in that mix, I love Don Cheadle and don't care about LeBron. Like it's completely opposite of her. Wow, Don Cheadle is. I don't know him personally, but when you talk about legendary actors, he is that. LeBron ain't. LeBron isn't. All right, go ahead, Rod. Goodness.
Yeah, I don't know, Joy. The Mouse from Devil in a Blue Dress. It's hard to hate him.
He was Rocket from Colors. Rocket from Colors.
So many roles. Don Cheadle. Listen. What am
Rocket
I
don't
watching right now?
Rocket don't smoke.
Black
Rocket.
Monday. Like
Rocket.
he's great. Hotel Rwanda. Like he's amazing.
Yeah, that he killed it with that one.
House of Lies. It goes on. And like
That
you
one should have
said,
been an Academy Award.
She's still
another
mad at
Easy
him
Rollins
taking over
mystery.
War Machine over Terrence Howard. She was still hot. She was like, wait a minute. I thought the War Machine was Terrence Howard. Why is this dude playing War Machine?
let me ask you something real quick. I guess I can ask either one of you or both of you. How did it go with Sierra Canyon on campus the other day?
What do you mean?
They were at Poly.
Oh.
I didn't know.
Scrimmaging.
Oh, they got
In
their
football.
their heads beat in. I think Polly handled them boys.
Okay.
From what I saw,
Was it 7-on-7?
it was just
Or was it
t-shirt-
like a
t-shirts and shorts
okay?
pushing them.
Because originally we had some officials going to work it, and then they were like, "Nope, the NFL's going to do it." Like, oh, yeah, that's cute. All right, Rod, close out.
Ooh, man, long week for me, but I was glad to be back home, man. I was tired of just walking in the gym every 5 minutes and then back in the classroom. I love it, but it's work. Training for these conferences and all that kind of stuff. But the film review is great. I mean, like I said before, I wish fans could like see a referee film breakdown. And that play that we watched earlier is a perfect example. You know, the first thing we start to look at is where's the position of the official to make the call. That's like step one. And then who should make the call? Who should have a cadence whistle if they don't make the call? Just it's all kinds of stuff that goes into it. And it's a science to it. But it's fun, you know. And you can go play by play from a game and see things about a play that you just would have never picked up on until you just broke down that particular play, and you're like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, excited about what this year is bringing. Waiting to ship my son off to Baltimore. Happy and sad at the same time because that's my road dog. But he's taking his vaccines to live in the dormitories, and it's not far away. He's only about 3 to 4 weeks away, and he's out of here. And then there were 2. So yeah, just we're gonna take him out tonight and take him out to eat and celebrate his accomplishments. And I'm gonna make sure I watch the game and probably rewatch it to see what I didn't see the first time, like I normally do, and just try to relax and enjoy the rest of this week. So everyone out there, be safe. I also have a funeral to go to this week. Older cousin passed away. He had cancer. So as Cobb said, love on your family, your loved ones, your friends. Tell them you love them. Give them a hug. Don't take life for granted. That's all I can say. Don't take life for granted. I see so many crazy things going on. Someone stole like a furniture-sized truck a couple nights ago, flying down Atlantic all through the neighborhood, with no regards for life. I guess he was on the run from the police or something, and he's just tearing up. It was trash day, so he was tearing up people's trash cans and and he didn't even have his lights on in the truck. I mean, like you could tell that this was not his thing, driving a big truck like that, and he just didn't care. He was just trying to get away. And I was thinking, oh my God, when I saw him going towards like Willow Street, which is, Atlantic is a busy street, Willow is a busy street. He's running red lights, he's running stop signs, flying, and I'm thinking, please don't have a child or someone walking in the street to cross when this clown is just acting a complete fool. So I try to warn my kids every day to just be aware of their surroundings. My son likes to ride his bike now. He's a biker, so he rides from Long Beach to Huntington Beach Pier and back. And I can't do it, but he's doing it every day.
Wow.
And I warn him, just be careful, on the streets like that. Pacific Coast Highway is very busy, and Huntington Beach is not the best place to go. And I warn him about that too. For him, his friends are safe, but we all saw what Huntington Beach started to look like May 31st of 2020. So, I warn him about stuff like that. But yeah, just be safe.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Rodney, the HSFO Academy has their annual kickoff at Bellflower today at 11. It's a barbecue and the first meeting. I don't know if you're going to make it up there or not. I know you rep in Orange County, but I think you're still with us too.
Yeah.
So I'll be up there. I'm on my way as soon as I get off of this. This is my man Roderick Tennell, who is sporting clearly this is right out of the packaging. He didn't like iron it or anything, but this is his Legal Hustle long sleeve t-shirt.
Get it on Friday, wear it on Friday.
Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
he was ready. I don't even have a long sleeve yet, but I'll be ordering them soon. It's thelegalhustle.com if you want any gear. We got hoodies, masks, long sleeve t-shirts, short sleeve t-shirts, toddler t-shirts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple for Kayla too. So I want to show you that.
Baby's hustling.
Yeah.
And I can't stress it enough. Those hoodies feel great. The material feels great on your skin. If you are into texture, I have like 3 or 4 of them. They feel great.
Right.
So,
and listen, and he doesn't have enough. He needs to get to 8. He needs all colors. But you guys need to get some too. So have at it. So next week I will be broadcasting from. I'm gonna pull in Anthony Cobbs, and I'll be broadcasting from a different land. I'll be in Indianapolis, Indiana,
yeah.
and I will be at the American Flag Football League tournament.
Flex.
I'll be officiating. I didn't say anything about Michael Vick. I'll be officiating. So you see here, it's just the round of 32 and round of 16. I'll be there Friday, but I'm working Saturday and Sunday, so I'll broadcast Saturday morning before we go on the field.
That's flag. It looks like rugby.
Yeah, there's supposed to be no contact.
Let's scroll over to that. Scrolls over to that prize money.
Yeah.
That winner is.
Whoa.
Woo.
We need to go call some Insanes and 20s and get us a team together, Rod.
Man.
We can call Reese Cup and them. They can come out the retirement and play a couple games. Like we got some dudes at the hood that can play some ball.
Plenty of them.
So you see this? It's a Midwest, so it'll be 9 o'clock for me when we broadcast. Plenty of time. We could go for 5 hours and I'll be fine, but 15. Our normal 2 hours will be fine.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, we have 4. Wait, do we have 4?
What's the game?
No, we have 3 crews. 3 crews. So we have 5 games each. And this Sunday is cake.
How big is the team? 10 dudes?
That's a good question.
That's a nice little chunk change right there. If you got some dudes. Yeah. Who is this dude number 32? Good Lord. Did he play for the NFL in his day job?
Yeah, man, I think so. Like, I think he played for a couple of teams, but
Yeah,
he was out there with Young Jock for a minute.
I see Young Jock. He looks
Yeah,
like he got his hair done, or
he used to have braids.
his hair looks like it's white, like Cisco.
Oh, you talking about that fool Jock? Yeah, but this guy used to have braids.
That looks like Michael Vick's convicted cousin,
Looks
Craig Vick.
like his brother.
No,
Man,
no, I thought you were joking. That's Michael Vick.
that
He
ain't no
played
Michael
last
Vick.
year.
32 right there. That's not Michael Vick.
Yeah, he played last year.
That ain't Michael Vick.
It's Michael Vick.
That looks like his
Dang it.
brother.
That
It's
dude,
Michael Vick. He played.
that dude
He
is
didn't play. Hold
swole.
on.
My God, he
Yeah,
looks
he
swole.
is swole.
Why you gotta be his convicted cousin though? Why you say that?
That brother had
Craig.
he had
Because of his
jailhouse.
arms?
He had a jailhouse physique. Yeah, man. Like all he
Craig.
could do was pull ups and push ups. That's all he could do.
No legs.
Yeah, just cornbread and beans. That's all they eat. That's the other kind of steroids.
No, man, they get tuna casserole. Don't ask me how I know.
You jump right into. Don't ask me how. No, wow.
Yeah, commissary package, commissary care packages making.
Writing's not that.
All right, I'm waiting to hear this album closeout song. Have you closed out yet, AC from LA?
I didn't. I was trying to set something up.
Oh boy.
You know how I do. I didn't close it out yet. All right, so close out. Listen, family is everything. Oh, the 200 grand. That's right. That's right, Elaine. Family is everything. Just remember that. These guys already stated it. I concur. Um, I appreciate my brothers coming on here. This is awesome. Rodney and I are, as we told you before, or as I told you before, expanding to Patreon. So we're obviously still going to have this, but we're also going to have exclusive content on Patreon. So that's already launched. There's already some bonus content there. If you decide to subscribe, then there are 4 different levels of subscription, and there's no commitment. So you can subscribe for 1 month and then not come back another month. But we appreciate you trying to get something a little something back out of this. So we appreciate you guys. Keep coming on. This is episode 69. We appreciate you. Okay? All right. That being said, family is everything. Please. Yeah, see, look, this dude, let me show y'all. Yeah, that clearly wasn't Michael Vick. But this is Michael Vick on the field. Hold on. Actually, I'm not going to do that. All right, so look.
That dude look like he could eat Michael Vick.
What's up, James Montgomery? What's not right at all? What happened?
I said that boy looked like he was in prison. I think that's what he was talking about.
Oh, I'm like, damn, James just rolled out of bed.
I didn't mean it that way, Big James. I'm sorry, Big James. My dad was in prison my whole life, so I know what dudes in prison look like. So he reminds me of my dad's friends. Swole for no reason.
But Michael Vick, it did play in the last two years that it was in. So did Chad. Well, he was still Ocho Cinco then, so Chad Ocho Cinco played too. Listen, just remember your family. You know, I love my family. That's it. Stay safe. LA County is going back and forth with the mask thing because people are cheating. That's what it is. People are pretending like they're vaccinated and they're not, so they're catching it and they're spreading it. And so now LA County wants everybody to wear a mask again. And I imagine California might go that route again too, but we'll see. Indoors. Listen, thank you for tuning in to episode 69. Next week is 70. We don't know who'll be here with us, but we appreciate you. Please check out Patreon if you're interested, like I said. And Anthony Cobbs and Elaine Williams hate my little closeout music, so I'm going to find another closeout clip at some point. But for now, rest in peace, Biz Markie.
Radio, and even the press, there was the meaning of BAPORS. The meaning of this word, without no doubt, make nobody wanna beat that one down and out. Now when you're established and got a lot of money, everybody wanna be your buddy and honey. Like tall buildings they call skyscrapers.
And you feel it. Nothing can save you. Well, this is the season of catching the vapors.
And since I got time on the floor to do, to tell you how this credit throughout my crew. Where you all looking
TJ Swan.
None of us know TJ Swan, by the way.
Back in the day before this
We knew a TJ Swan.
Big truck jewelry and these stitches in her hair. You work for UPS.
That was a good job back in the day. I'm not no sure what you were tripping about.
Right.
Man,
Because if you work for UPS then, you probably retiring with a pension right now.
Man, she tripping right now. She feeling real dumb right now, like old girl on Funky Dividends. When I was with Steady B, I had it all. Gucci. You ain't giving me nothing.
Steady B was saving them.
Yeah. When I was with Steady B, I had it all.
How could you not like Biz? Biz was the man.
I got another partner that's on the plane.
He goes by the name of Big Daddy Kane.
Fellow type of fellow.
That's laid back.
Back in the days, he was
Nothing like that.
I remember when he used to fight every day.
Every day.
Tell him he would never
He fight every day.
down in the sneakers untied and a rocker type tangle.
Tilted to the side.
Around the neighborhood, people treated him bad and said
He was the worst thing his mom's ever had.
He said that he would grow up to be
Nothing but a hoodlum or either in jail.
or someone would shoot him. But now he's grown up to be a surprise.
Big Daddy got a hit
Hit
record
record
selling
selling
world.
worldwide.
People like thinking like I'm at the job saying, can I call a dollar?
Ooh, you a star now. Ain't that your story, Rod? They talked about you bad. Now they want to be your friend now, boy. I knew you was gonna make it.
Hey, shout out to James Montgomery and my dad who worked for USPS. They got their
And my-
retirement. That's right.
and my
James,
brother.
my dad.
Now I got a cousin by the name of Rodney. Better known as
Cool V.
Cool V. He cut scratch transforms with finesse.
And all that.
All that mess.
I remember when he
Cool V is still on the radio with Roxanne Shante, XM 43.
when it was the board when it said
Does anybody else get irritated by Shantae's voice?
on, still try on and on and on.
It says like break the dawn.
She still sounds like that girl from the hood.
I'm Shantae.
I'm Shantae.
Man, from 83.
8 to 8. Cool V, you take a dollar, so my cousins like
Straight.
We grew up into the same record shop before, and the boys was like,
Boom.
Welcome to the store.
No, he don't want it.
Damn, it feels good to see
People up on it.
Cause I remember one at first they was
Classic lines.
what they call from my cousin. The
Vapors.
They call the baby. They call the baby. They call the baby.
All right, y'all.
Yes, I gotta talk about me tonight.
You can't fit into the wet food stamp.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. Now the show gets going now.
Yeah, she getting
Now
ready
we
to
got
dance.
now we got a show.
Talk true and overseas. I said, can I be down camp? They said, no one treated me like a
Wet food stamp.
After getting rejected, I was very depressed. Sat and wrote some deaf
Doodle rhymes.
When I used to come to parties, they make me pay. What have to beg to get on the mic and rap?
That day.
I was never into girls. I was just
That was
into
just to my music.
I wanted to keep instead of trying to use it. But now things switch without belief. Your biz. Do you remember these Noble Street Chief? We used to be down.
But nah, we
Things
wasn't.
that happens all the time and never cease to amaze. They call
Call
it
it Vapors.
Ah, man. Shout out to Biz Marquis. Rest in peace. Shout out to Roxanne Shante and the real Roxanne. Two different people. So,
He said, "Missy, work it." That's the song.
oh, that's what you wanted? Okay. Oh, shit. Chris Cotton. What up? Damn. Okay. Basketball legend joining us. And we at the end, we closing out. C. Cotton. Chris Cotton was part of the crew that really got St. Monica's over the hump and did some damage there. So shout out to C. Cotton, Craig Martin. Shout out to Cleveland. Shout out, obviously, my man Al Jones. Shout out to my peoples from St. Monica. What's up, brother? Damn. That's my man. Craig Martin still fucking with me. And Chris Cotton just came on. But yeah, that was Biz Markie. We were shouting him out since he passed away. So we did a moment of silence for him earlier, and then we were closing out with the Vapors. So this was an extended episode. We've been cutting it short the last couple of weeks, but we went 220 this week. Thank you so much, Anthony Cobbs, for coming on. Shout out to everybody that joined us. C. Cotton, Elaine Williams, James Montgomery, Aunt Cheryl, Nina dropped in for a minute just to say language. I don't even think she stayed because she didn't say anything about her birthday. Shout out to Roger Tanel. Shout out to my pops. Listen, shout out to everybody. Be safe. Shout out to Zaire. What up, young man? Shout out to my daughter, Kayla, who just came on. Hey, we love y'all. This was episode 69 of the Collective Podcast. Thank you, Chris. Shout out to everybody. This was episode 69 of the Collective Podcast. Thank you for coming through. Next week is episode 70. We love you. We out.